Imagine an envelope, sealed, untouched. The handwriting on the front is shaky, uncertain. The ink has faded at the edges, where a thumb pressed too hard against the paper. Inside that envelope is a letter written by someone who was 23 years old, broke, scared, sitting in a studio apartment in a city where they knew no one, waiting for someone to save them. Tonight, you're going to hear what that letter said, and more importantly, what they wish they had written instead. Because what they learned in the years since is this: the person we spend our whole lives waiting for, the one who's going to make sense of everything, who's going to rescue us from our circumstances, who's going to finally validate that we're worthy, that person doesn't exist. And the moment you understand why that's true is the moment your life begins. Picture a room, 4 walls, one window that doesn't open all the way, a mattress on the floor, a laptop balanced on a cardboard box. This was where they lived the year they turned 23. This was where they discovered what waiting actually costs. Every morning, they'd wake up and check their phone. Maybe today would be the day. Maybe today someone would reach out with an opportunity. Maybe today their work would finally be noticed. Maybe today someone would see potential in them that they couldn't see in themselves. The phone never rang the way they wanted it to, so they'd go to networking events. Room after room filled with ambitious people, incredible energy, big dreams. And everywhere they went, they heard the same seductive promise. You're one handshake away from your life changing. You're one relationship away from your business taking off. That person you need, the accountant, the mentor, the investor, the friend who knows someone, they're in this room right now. And they believed it. They believed it with everything they had. They collected business cards like lottery tickets. They smiled until their face hurt. They pitched their ideas to anyone who would listen. They were so busy looking for the person who would save them that they never stopped to ask themselves a simple question. What if they were looking in the wrong direction? Before we continue this story, if you're finding value in what you're hearing, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. This content takes time to create, and your subscription helps it reach more people who need to hear this message. Now back to the story. It was a Tuesday. They remember because Tuesdays were when the cafe downstairs did half-price coffee, and they'd been rationing their money so carefully that half-price anything felt like a victory. They came home from another networking event, 4 hours of handshakes and small talk and business cards they'd probably never look at again. And they sat on that mattress on the floor, and they realized something that made their stomach drop. They had just spent 4 hours hoping someone else would give them permission to be great. 4 hours waiting for someone to anoint them, to choose them, to see something in them. And in those same 4 hours, they could have been home becoming the person everyone was looking for. They could have been writing, creating, building, improving. They could have been asking themselves the only question that actually matters. How can I be better today than I was yesterday? But instead, they were out there collecting breadcrumbs of validation, hoping that if they gathered enough of them, they'd somehow turn into a meal. The truth about networking. Here's what nobody tells you about networking events. The people who need them least are the ones who get the most from them. Because when you walk into a room as someone who's already undeniable at what you do, people gravitate towards you. Opportunities find you. Connections happen naturally. But when you walk in hoping someone will save you, hoping someone will see your potential and give you a chance, you're invisible. You're one of hundreds of people hoping for the same thing. The network doesn't supplement desperation. It supplements excellence. And they were out there trying to network their way out of the work they were avoiding. That night, they sat down and wrote a letter to themselves. Not the letter they wanted to write, the letter they needed to write, the one their older self would send back if they could. Here's what it said. Dear younger me, there will be days when you will cry until you feel empty. There will be nights when you wonder why life is so heavy. You will fall and you will feel like you cannot get back up. But listen, every time you get back up, you will discover a new strength that you did not know was inside you. Stop waiting for people to rescue you. Some will care, but they cannot fight your battles. Some will try to help, but they cannot heal your heart. That healing will come when you take the first step forward, trusting in the journey ahead. You will learn that hope is not only about asking for rescue, it is also about asking for strength, patience, and direction. You will learn that life does not always remove the storm, but it teaches you how to stand in the middle of it. You will learn that no pain is wasted, and every struggle is shaping you for the life you are meant to live. You will grow, you will rise, you will find your voice, and in time, you will understand that the person you were waiting for was you all along. So my advice to you, younger me, stop waiting, start living, trust in yourself. Keep walking forward, even if the steps are small. One day, you will look back and see that all the nights of pain, all the lonely moments, all the times you felt like giving up, they were the very moments that built you. Remember this: you are not broken, you are becoming, with love, your older self. When they finished writing, their hands were steady, because they were no longer writing to their younger self. They were writing to everyone who needs to hear it. They were writing to you. 2 weeks after they wrote that letter, their world fell apart in a different way. It was a Tuesday again. Always seems to be Tuesday. They woke up to emails, dozens of them. Your phone number has been changed. Your email address has been changed. Your username has been changed. Someone had hacked their account. Not just their personal account, their business account, years of work, a community of people who trusted them. And they were locked out, watching a stranger post spam under their name, responding to messages pretending to be them. They couldn't breathe. They paced their apartment for 3 hours, feeling rage they didn't know they were capable of. Not anger. Rage. The kind that makes your vision blur and your hands shake and your thoughts spiral into worst-case scenarios. For 3 hours, they were that 23-year-old again, helpless, powerless, waiting for someone to fix this for them. There's an old story about a ship caught in a storm, waves crashing over the deck, wind tearing at the sails. Everyone on board is screaming, pale with terror, certain they're going to die. Everyone except one person. They're just as afraid. Their heart is pounding just as hard. Their stomach is churning with the same fear. But they're not screaming because they understand something the others don't. The storm is beyond their control, but their response to the storm isn't. Emotions are biological. Fear, anger, despair, they wash over us like waves. We can't stop them from coming, but we can choose whether to scream, whether to surrender, whether to drown. For 3 hours they screamed. They gave themselves over to the rage and the helplessness and the fear. They cried out at the unfairness of it all, and then, exhausted, they stopped. They sat on their couch, they closed their eyes, and they remembered the letter. You will learn that life does not always remove the storm, but it teaches you how to stand in the middle of it. The hack didn't stop. The account remained compromised. Spam still went out under their name, but something changed in them, because they realized that the storm wasn't the real test. The test was whether they would use the storm as an excuse to give up, or as a reason to get better. Whether they would wait for someone to rescue them from this chaos, or whether they would rescue themselves. They started documenting everything. They changed passwords on every other account. They reached out to their community directly, warned them about the hack. They started rebuilding on different platforms, and something remarkable happened. People rallied. They shared the real accounts. They reported the fake ones. They sent messages of support, not because anyone waited for someone to save them, but because they showed everyone what it looks like to save yourself. The hack taught them something they had written in that letter, but hadn't truly understood. Some people will care, but they cannot fight your battles. Some will try to help, but they cannot heal your heart. That healing comes when you take the first step forward. Every note has purpose. Their hurt made them stronger. Their struggle injected meaning into their life. The hack taught them resilience. The lonely nights taught them self-reliance. The failures taught them what doesn't work, so they could find what does. Today is what it is because yesterday was what it was. And when they look back at that 23-year-old sitting on a mattress on the floor, waiting for someone to save them, they don't feel sorry for that person anymore. They're grateful for them, because every night spent crying, every networking event they dragged themselves to, every business card they collected hoping for a miracle, all of it was building the person they needed to become. That younger version couldn't see it. They thought they were wasting time. They thought they were doing everything wrong, but they were writing the low notes, the quiet parts, the tension that makes the resolution matter, the contrast that creates the light. As anyone moves through the dark, as they navigate the chaos, they discover that the light they're chasing is only meaningful because of the depths they're emerging from. Life beyond these shadows isn't where the world begins. It's a continuation of an already beautiful journey. Your symphony doesn't start when things get easy. It started the moment you were born. And every moment since, the good ones and the terrible ones, the triumphs and the failures, the connections and the loneliness, every single moment has been a note in your song. You are not waiting for your life to start. Your life is happening right now. This moment is part of your symphony. The question is, are you going to spend it waiting for someone else to write your music? Or are you going to pick up the pen and write it yourself? The 4-minute mile. In 1954, everyone knew that running a mile in under 4 minutes was impossible. It wasn't just difficult, it was physiologically impossible. Doctors said so, scientists said so, every runner who had ever tried said so. Then one person did it, and within a year, dozens of others did it too. Did human biology suddenly evolve in 1954? Did runners suddenly become faster as a species? No, they just stopped believing it was impossible. One person showed them it could be done, and that permission, that proof, was all they needed to access strength they'd always had. You have that strength right now. You've always had it. You're just waiting for permission to use it. Consider this your permission. Stop waiting for someone else to show you it's possible. Become the person who shows everyone else, the person you were waiting for. This is what the letter meant. In time, you will understand that the person you were waiting for was you all along. Not some future version of you. Not the you that exists after you get lucky, or meet the right person, or figure everything out. The you that exists right now. Reading this, listening to this, the you with all your doubts and fears and flaws. That person has everything they need. They just don't believe it yet. The barrier to entry. Here's a conversation that happened. Someone was on a call talking about a new project, and they were doing what people always do, making it complicated, talking about the perfect end state, all the things they'd need before they could start. And the person they were talking to listened patiently, then said, "Why don't we just start with what we have now?" It stopped them cold because they were right. They were creating barriers that didn't need to exist. They were using perfectionism as an excuse for fear. They were waiting again, waiting to feel ready, waiting to have all the answers, waiting for conditions that would never come. Keep the barrier to entry low, they said, so there's less friction. And the realization hit. This is what everyone needs to hear. Stop making it so hard to begin. Stop requiring yourself to have all the answers before you take the first step. Just start. Start messy. Start scared. Start imperfect. Because you win by going. You win by putting yourself in the arena. You win by collecting data and learning and adapting. You don't win by waiting until you feel ready. You'll never feel ready. The morning ritual. Every morning someone does something simple. So simple it almost feels silly to mention. They sit outside with a notebook and they write down 3 things they're grateful for. That's it. No elaborate ritual. No hour-long meditation. Just 3 things. I'm grateful I can do work I love. I'm grateful for the people who support me. I'm grateful for this moment right here. And some mornings that feels like enough. Like armor. Because when the day inevitably throws something at them, a setback, a rejection, a moment of doubt, they can return to those 3 things and remember their life is already full. They're already wealthy in the ways that matter. The external stuff, the opportunities, the recognition, the success, that's all extra. It's not the foundation. It's decoration on a house that's already been built. What gets measured gets improved. Years ago, someone asked a creator how many people joined their community each day, and they realized they didn't know. They knew the total number, but not the daily change, so they started tracking it. Just one number, every morning, and something remarkable happened. Just by paying attention, they got better. Because they started noticing patterns. What worked, what didn't, what deserved more focus, what was wasting time. They weren't trying to game the system. They were just aware, and awareness creates change. If you want to improve something, anything, start measuring it. Not obsessively, not neurotically, just honestly, because you can't improve what you can't see. You are not broken. 3 words everyone needs to hear. You are becoming, not broken, not behind, not failing, becoming. Every fall is part of it. Every failure is part of it. Every moment you felt like giving up, that was part of it too. Because you don't become strong by avoiding difficulty. You become strong by enduring it, by getting back up, by discovering that you have more in you than you thought. Every time you get back up, you discover a new strength you didn't know was inside you. That's not a platitude. That's the truth. Every single time you face something hard and survive it, you're different afterward. Stronger, more capable, more resilient. You are not the same person you were a year ago. You're not even the same person you were yesterday. You are becoming every single day, every single moment. The consistency and the adaptation. You show up, that's consistency. You show up when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, when you're discouraged, when every instinct tells you to quit. You show up because that's who you are. But showing up isn't enough. Because if you show up and do the same thing over and over, expecting different results, you're not growing. You're just spinning your wheels. So you adapt. You look at what's working and what isn't. You ask yourself hard questions. You make changes. Consistency gets you in the door. Adaptation keeps you there. You need both. Time doesn't wait. Everything changes. Everything. The music you love becomes classic. The heroes you admired age. The friendships you thought would last forever fade. Nothing stays. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is guaranteed. And that's not sad. That's not tragic. That's just true. The only way to lose is to wait. To spend your life preparing to live instead of living. To spend your days hoping someone will give you permission to start. The clock is ticking. Your credits will eventually roll. But right now, in this moment, you're here. You're alive. You have time. The question is, what will you do with it? The two letters. There are two letters, one written by someone desperate and scared, full of questions and waiting. The other written by someone who survived, full of answers and truth and wisdom earned through pain. They don't exist to torture anyone. They exist as a reminder. The person we're all waiting for is us all along. Stop looking. Start becoming. Stop looking for answers. Become the answer. Stop waiting for someone to choose you. Choose yourself. Stop hoping for permission. You already have it. You've always had it. No one is coming to save you. And that's the best news you'll ever hear. Because it means you're the one who gets to write this story. You're the one who gets to decide where it goes. You're the one who gets to transform the obstacles into opportunities, the valleys into mountains, the silence into music. You are not broken. You are becoming, and the person you're becoming, they're going to be remarkable. Not because someone gave them permission, not because they got lucky, not because they knew the right people, but because they decided that waiting was over, that today was the day, that they were done looking for heroes and ready to become one. Your symphony is playing. Your symphony is playing right now. This moment is part of it. The good notes and the bad notes, the high points and the low points, the crescendos and the silences, all of it matters. All of it is building towards something you can't see yet, but will be grateful for when you arrive. Keep walking forward, even if the steps are small, especially if the steps are small, because small steps repeated over time don't just add up. They compound, they multiply, they transform into something you couldn't have imagined when you started. One day, you will look back and see that all the nights of pain, all the lonely moments, all the times you felt like giving up, they were the very moments that built you. Remember this, you are not broken. You are becoming. Stand up, step forward, start now. If this story touched you, if something here resonated with your own journey, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button, and most importantly, share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Someone who's waiting for permission they already have. Someone who's looking for a hero when they are the hero. The person they're waiting for is them, just like the person you were waiting for was always you. Thank you for being here. Now go become the answer.